And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another day, another edition here of the King Grand Cup number 7, day 2. I'm of course your ZvT. With me, I'm joined by these amazing players, by the people in chat, and by my plushies as well. Welcome one and all, to something a little bit different here, to a 2-day event. This is an 8-player invitational. Last night we were live with the quarterfinals with our top 8, but now we have slimmed that down. We've cut that down to our top 4. Here we go. We have top 4 players, we have 4 players remaining, and we have 2 best of 5s, and of course our grand finals thereafter. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of King's Cove, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran. It is GuMiho. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Blue Zerg. It is Dark. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are now open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we open things up with a double proxy racks across the map. We have 1 SCV, we have 2 SCVs, and only 2 SCVs. So it's going to be 2 racks Reaper here. Sorry, my apologies. Wait, what? I was gonna say proxy 2 racks Marine Bunker Rush, but gases are being taken, so as I did slip up earlier, 2 racks Reaper may be the go-to here as gases are on the way. Usually that is not the case, so based on its positioning here, based on its location, GuMiho, proxy 2 racks Reaper, this is a rare build in this matchup. Show us what you got. Show us what you got. Meanwhile, behind this, Dark going hatch gas full, standard opener out of Dark. Now, I believe GuMiho was hoping to blind counter a gasless opener. Welcome to King's Cove, and Dark, he's very fond of gasless openers here on this map, in this matchup. If he can get away with it, he will do so on El Dorado, on King's Cove, on Neo Valley Square, on Abyssal Reef. Here, he goes for a standard opener, and the Reapers are coming, and Dark will be able to deal with this. Now, of course, this is still hyper aggressive and this can still get damage done. Ideally, you want to pick off some workers here. Ideally, you want to delay the 3rd base, but Dark has gases, so link speed is on the horizon. Eventually, Dark will be able to deal with this, but for the time being, it's going to be up to Dark to minimize losses, to maintain his economy, maintain his drone count, and keep those queens up and running. Oh boy. Vámonos, as we do have the Reapers now moving in. This is going to be that much more committed compared to a proxy 2x Marine, for example, as more gas is being invested here. First Reaper dips into the mineral line, the drone is under fire. Ooh, quick spore or quick gas streak there out of Dark, saves the drone. Does save him, another drone does pull away, and a spore is going to be built. Oh, 1 drone goes down. Nice pick off here from GuMiho. He gets 1 drone so far, and we'll see how many more he can get. How many more he can bring down. Oh, speaking of, another drone falls here. Yeah, Dark stepping up, did rally a drone to take a 3rd base, and did forget about the drone. So another worker does fall. More Reapers piling on in, a link speed is on the way, and again, it's on Dark to buy time until link speed finishes. First queen does move in, nice target firing, very nice target firing. 1 Reaper goes down, slip up there out of GuMiho. GuMiho slips up, he overextends. Reaper should not have fallen. Behind this is still making more Reapers back at home, transitioning. Factory is on the way, goes into the middle line, 1 more drone goes down. It's gonna be what, 3? Yeah, 3 drone kills so far. Lings, they don't quite get this around. But now Dark is up to 2 queens. It's up to 2 queens here. He rotates over towards the low ground. The Reapers, they rotate as well. Dark keeping on with the rotations. Oh. Does keep up. The Queen taking a lot of hits. Taking a lot of damage. We have 18 more links on the way. Very nice target firing once again. GuMiho does overextend. Another Reaper goes down. Ay, this should not be happening. Losing 2 Reapers. Link speed is now done. And now it's on Dark to chase this down. Has to put up those lings. Reapers, they do try to pull out. There's not that many lings here to actually work with, so GuMiho, he may clean this up. Yeah, there's barely any lings. Okay, additional lings have arrived. GuMiho, sorry, Dark trying to set up the surround. GuMiho, ooh, we'll lose 1 more Reaper. Yeah, he'll lose 1, 2. Lose 1, 2, 3. We'll lose everything here. He gets pinned against the wall. Every Reaper does fall. And now force to lift. Force to lift, racing back home. Back at home, we have a 1-1-1 setup. We do have the natural base on the way. Of course, Dark does confirm everything here, and Hellions are soon to arrive. So with that, GuMiho, he holds. GuMiho, he holds, he defends. We do see GuMiho attempt to delay the expansion for as long as possible, but the 3rd base. Oh no! The lifts, the lands. Not able to do that again, but cheeky moves out of GuMiho. Very cheeky. As Dark is going to stabilize, droning, saturating, pulling out of gas, which means no Bane Bust. We have seen some Zerg players, Shin comes to mind, where if Shin was in this position, he would just keep mining gas, go down to Bane Nest and go for a bust across the map. Here, Dark, he pulls out, he's droning, he's saturating, just calming things down, building back up, GuMiho across the map, likewise getting map control with Hellions, and from here can even go for additional factories. Right now, the Raxes are floating, so there's no bio production yet. We'll see if he does commit into mech, or if he does try to slowly eventually get into stim, combat shields, and bio. As the game will settle down, GuMiho transitioning. Meanwhile, it is going to be an earlier lair here out of Dark. I say earlier lair, I mean, it's been a bit of a shaky and awkward game, but lair is on the way. Baneland S alongside this. And so far, only 3 gases. Now, this may just be for 1-1 upgrades and for bailing speed, or we could take another gas and we could go into mutas. Meanwhile, we have confirmation. Yep, the Raxes is still floating. You know what that means? That means double armory mech. So we are going to mech it up. We are going to mech it up here. Give me your switching gears into, I would imagine, battle mech initially. We have Cloak Banshee on the way. Lair is about to finish, and we are going double Evo Chamber, and we did not take the 4th gas, so this looks like Ling Bane. So far, this does not seem to be a muta play, otherwise gases would have been taken and Evo Chambers would have been delayed, so yeah, it's going to be 1-1 upgrades into further tech, actually. Roach Warren, Infestation Pit, look at the tech up into, I mean, we have options here. This could be for Hive Tech, this could even be for Swarm Host. And on a large map like King's Cove, against mech, of all things, Swarm Hosts, they have their place here. They are viable. So Swarm Host, they would be viable for the time being. Dark, it does saturate his 3rd. Moving on over. Getting his 4th. Double upgrades on the way. Dark, he hasn't really confirmed mech yet, but based on the upgrade pattern, looks like he's getting ready for it. Looks like he expects mech. So +1 range, +1 melee. No carapace upgrades. Again, carapace upgrades are ideal against bio, but they're borderline useless against mech. So you want to avoid that. Likewise, GuMiho does move out. Queens are keeping up with the rotations so far. Yeah, the Spore is in position. Queens rotate, a Hydrogen gets thrown down. So if Dark needs to, we can tech up in towards Lurker Tech. Against Battle Mech, I would still prefer Ling Bane or a Ravager. But Dark is still piecing it all together. Fending out with some Lings. He does get eyes on the Raven. And on additional Hellions. And for the most part, he has confirmation. I mean, that's a lot of Hellions. So that does trigger Roach production. Hydra upgrades on the way. Hive is on the way as well. Not going for Swarm Host. You see GuMiho being active. At least attempting to be. Here we go. 9 Hellions on the front lines. Taking down some tumors. Dark is going into Roach Hydra. Limited Ling production. Just building up his Roach Hydra. And if he goes Roach Hydra Viper, and if he skips Lurker Tech, he can try to break through this defensive line, 100%. Yep, Vipers. So Roach Hydra Viper here is on the way. And we'll see if Dark turns up any further. Right now, he's on 3.5 base saturation, 75 workers, does take all those gases. I mean, this is very gas intensive. So he does take extra gases. So he's not supplementing his army with Lings, he's just making more Roaches and more Hydras. Still building up. Looking to max out. GuMiho embracing Battle Mech. He did get into Cloak Banshee, but only 3 Banshees. Decent amounts, but so far no real harassment. Has them pinned back home. Getting to now 2-2 upgrades. But what's important here, as Dark is, again, about to max out, and Dark is cutting workers, that's 3.5 bases, that's 74 workers, there's no tanks. That's the scary thing here. Right now, GuMiho is building up a Battle Mech army, which is designed to kite more than anything, but he can't slow this down. And here we go, Dark is pushing at 180 supply, doesn't wait for 200, does push, GuMiho getting in position, and again, 0 tanks to defend, just Hellion Cyclone, just Battle Mech. So far, nice lock-ons, does focus on those Roaches. Roaches are going down. Oh yeah, the missile was brutal as well. And GuMiho, he should clean this up. He should, and he will. He shuts down all the roaches. He shuts down all the hydras. The Vipers are too late. Yeah, this was premature. The Vipers, they come in after the fight ends. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, Dark getting too excited. He did move out too soon. And Dark, he will lose his momentum. Again, he had cut corners, taken gases, and built up towards 180 supply to go for a one strong push, but he moved out without the Vipers. And without the Vipers, he doesn't break through that defensive line, he plummets in supply, and now GuMiho is in a much better position. And now Dark is forced to drone. You can see, drones. He's droning up to 80, he throws down a lurker den. Dark, he's forced into a longer game. He failed his timing, he failed his push, and now he has to settle into something longer into the late game. Initially, Dark, he wanted to avoid it, but now there's no avoiding it, not anymore. GuMiho taking his 4th and getting a 5th base on location. Dark still being active, knocking down those rocks. Again, Dark, he is about to max out. He still has those 2 Vipers. You know, our reinforcements getting caught out. Good positioning here from GuMiho, picking up a couple of roaches. As long as it doesn't get caught out, nice abductions. It gets 1, gets 2, gets 3 cyclones. Very nice pickups. As he kites away, Hellions, they bust into the mineral line. 7 drones go down. And Dark, he's committing. Again, King's Cove, it's a large map. It's too far away to turn back home. More drones going to be falling. Dark trying to force his way into the natural. Throwing away those cyclones, a couple of links, a couple of roaches, they peel off into the mineral line. So far, good positioning here from Dark. Back at home, 12 SCV kills, very nice damage. Will lose drones across the map, that is true, but he does reciprocate across the map as well. Dark, he starts this forward, takes down more Hellions, more cyclones. These are expensive losses here for GuMiho. And remember, it's not like GuMiho has like a defensive line of tanks. No, GuMiho is sticking with Battle Mech, with Hellion Cyclone. And this is a composition that thrives with momentum. It thrives when it really builds up and masses up in terms of numbers, but that's not here, not for GuMiho. At this point, I think this is stubborn. At this point, I would say GuMiho needs to switch into tank production. To like turtle up. He needs to turtle up, he needs to defend, he needs to slow the game down. Because Dark, he is building up once again, getting ready for another push. Hellion Runways have been solid. Getting 6 drone kills, keeping Dark busy. Infestors are on the way. And GuMiho is pushing out once again. He gets spotted by the Changeling. So Dark, he now knows that GuMiho is still not making tanks. He's fully aware. The Infestors is going to be that much more valuable here. Again, if we had tank reinforcements instead, the Infestors, they wouldn't do anything. But now, they have their uses. Yeah, 5 more. Jesus, that's like it's a lot of Infestors. 5 more Infestors on the way. Gonna be 10 in total. Back at home, still just pure battle mech out of GuMiho. Making 5 Slacklings at a time, 5 Hellions as well. Once again, moving in. Dark not quite in position, getting ready for his own push. There we go, he has to respond. He has to react to this. He turns back around. Oh! Does the Dr. 1 Cyclone. Really what he's looking for here, though, is those fungal growths. And you can see Dark, he just cut Hydra production completely. Just ling a Roach Infestor. A couple of Lunkers to defend back at home. Oh, but they get caught out. They're exposed. Expensive losses here for Dark. And Lurkers go down. Dark, he's out of position. He's racing back home. There's 1 Lurker left. Down to 0. Yeah, 0 Lurkers remaining. Dark coming in for a surround, though. Okay, nicely done. GuMiho overextends. Dark, he moves in. GuMiho is going to try to break out of this. Oh, did borrow. Did try to fungal. Does fungal some of those Infestors. Sorry, some of those Vikings even. Overall, a decent fight with more Cyclones. They do head through the center. Brutal fungal growths. And these Hellbats are being shut down. Dark, he's going to be able to clean this up at the same time, though. GuMiho pushing into the mineral line. At least trying to. It's getting a little bit messy. There we go. Hatchery goes down. Cyclones and CranKy back. And they're going to need to. As GuMiho, he will bleed out everything here. Cyclones do fall. And finally, tank production. Just, ay. Oh, God. Dying. But tank production on the way here from GuMiho is finally coming out. And now he's slowing the game down. Now, was this worth it? He did get a base. True, he got a base. He was able to get not many workers. He mainly traded with his opponent. He got the lurkers, of course, got the roaches. He reset the infestor count for the most part. It was an okay trade. But now we're walling up. It is at this point where now GuMiho's like, okay, now I have to slow down or I have to turtle up. It has to happen. Ooh, and as he's getting into tanks, what do we see? Swarm hosts. I love how fluid Dark is being. Like, swarm hosts are exactly what you want against a slower composition like this. Swarm hosts, not against battle mech, but against a more traditional form of mech, 100%. This army is more immobile, it's more stationary, it's where swarm hosts can thrive. So really cool to see Dark switching from one kind of tech or composition to another. Remember, it started with Roach Hydra, then into Ling Roach Infestor, then into Swarm Host. And from here, what do we have? We have a Greater Spire. We have double Spire, Greater Spires on the way, so Darky's getting ready for Broodlords when need be. So Dark is taking up. Here comes that first Locust Wave. Gonna be how many Swarm Hosts? 13. When they say dive in, they're going for the Planetary. Planetary should go down even with the Mass Repair. Yeah, one more volley, does fall, massive pickup. Takes down one of the tanks as well. And even a Hellbat. Likewise, Roach Hydra on the other side. Gaining ground. Just poking in. Not quite breaking through. The tank line here is brutal. But getting ready for another wave of Locusts. Getting ready for more of those Swarm Hosts. This time the Night Storm gets caught. Speak of here from GuMiho. Meanwhile, towards left-hand side, I mean, he's still exposed. There is an orbital this time, so he can lift. He can save the base. Oh! Tank is abducted. Yo, we got mass BC production on the way from GuMiho. He has stopped rebuilding tanks. Getting to mass battlecruiser. So he's gonna have, what, 5 starports? Ay. Locust Wave moving in. Now, bearing in mind, Dark, he's already getting ready for that to air transition regardless. But when he does spot all the starports, that's a massive tell. And sees the starports, is aware. Doesn't get too much done, but does scout. Does scout with those Swarm Hosts. Fungal goes off. Hydra's a lunge in. Picking up whatever they can. Catching out one of those tanks. Yeah, GuMiho does overextend, bleeding out 1, 2. Gonna be losing all 3 tanks here. Ay. Yeah, big overextension from GuMiho. As he was trying to move out to bring down these Nidus Worms. Behind this, building up more Viking BC. And we're still working on those 1-1 upgrades here. Still no Corruptors yet. He does have some anti-air, but soon we need those Corruptors. I love that he has a Nidus on the left and then the Locust Wave on the right. Oh, he gets spotted though. BCs are revealed. Now Dark knows, and now he has to trade. He has to dive into the Unsiege. Does Unsiege at the wrong moment. Tank's gonna be going down. Massive pickups. Vikings forced to land to avoid that power bomb, and everything here is gonna go down. GuMiho plummets in supply. We have 20 Corruptors in production. Just the wrong moment to Unsiege. That was every single tank. And that was all the tanks. CC goes down, and BC's are great and all, but now there's no ground support. And those 20 Corruptors are going to be more than enough. They lined up with 1-1. Behind this, Ultra Cavern on the way. Unfortunately, wasn't quite ready yet for like a Corruptor Ling Ultra. But Darky's working on it. There we go. Now getting into 2-2 upgrades. Where's Dark's ground army though? Yeah, Dark, he doesn't really have much on the ground. These Hellions, they could just ignore this. They could just go and roast up some mineral lines. He's diving in. Yeah, he dives in. Does force a teleport. Teleporting right next to the army, though. Yeah, Darky chases him down. He gets 1. He gets 2. He's going to get 3. Going to get at least 3 BCs. Massive pickoffs. Expensive losses there for GuMiho. Dark pulls away. Oh. Does trade. Meanwhile, GuMiho is spending his minerals at least, going into Mass Hellion. And again, I do feel like GuMiho has the opportunity to get a lot of damage done with these Hellions. Again, the ground army is almost non-existent. But now, as we bleed out Roaches, bleed out Corruptors, Roaches are rebuilding. Critical save coming in. Doesn't get too much. 7 SCVs. 7 SCVs. It is going to be mainly a Hellion-based army against Roach Ravager. It's not going to trade well. Oof. Yeah, Biles do connect. The Hellions do eventually break through. More Roaches are on the way. Can he get into the mineral lines? Oh, Fungal Growths do connect. But they were a little bit late here. Ideally, they support the Roaches. And GuMiho takes down the base. Expansion going down. We have 20 Roaches in production. Do we have any more Fungals? We have plenty. Arguably too many, but Fungals are available. Neural was researched, so we can always neural those BCs or neural the tanks. He can neural if need be. Stark is getting ready. Again, he is maxed out. And GuMiho doesn't gain any ground yet. He's knocked down 2 bases. Oh! Bit of a miss rally. The 2 expansions have gone down. Darky does expand towards the right-hand side. Still a decent economy, but he's down to 63 workers. Local save does get spent. Yeah, local save is wasted. Dark moving in. Spots the army. Oh, gets punished. 2 more Corruptor kills. As GuMiho rotates over towards the fresh mining bases, Dark, he can't afford to lose these. Yeah, Dark trying to rotate. He rotates over. Tanks are sieged. There are only 3 tanks here. There's not that many. But he does cut Dark off. Yeah, the base is under fire. Looks like the expansion is going to go down. Dark is trying to Night Storm over. He needs a Swarm Host, which he still has. 13. Lanes they flood across the map. Expansion goes down. Dark is not going for it yet. Dark is still holding on. Swarm Host, they're actually back at home. Oh, yeah, they're back at home instead. That's going to be 2 bases falling. Dark, he has no money. He's down to 1 base. Down to soon to be 2 bases. Yeah, but not much of an economy. He just goes for a counterattack. He doesn't care. Moves out across the map, going for the SCVs. SCVs are going to be falling. Yeah, Dark, he just ignores this army. Goes across the map. CC is going to be going down. GuMiho turns it back around, but GuMiho is in a better position. In a sense, like GuMiho also doesn't have. I mean, he's also broke. we got 2 patches left. GuMiho, he needs that CC. Both players running out of resources. GuMiho, he needs the expansion, as he really has no income. He has a bit of a gas bank to work with. Meanwhile, Dark, he retakes the center base. He does re-expand here towards the center as well. Not the best economy, but an economy. GuMiho still has a terrifying army, though. Yeah, the army's terrifying. Does take some blasts to the face. Tank goes down. And Dark, he's forced to evacuate. He has to pull back. Oh, nice Neural. Very nice. Neural's the BC's the best. Oh, the Biles. Oh my god, every BC goes down. Very nice catch. But yo, who needs Corruptors when you have Ravagers? When you have Biles? BC count gets reset. Dark moving in. Yeah, mass neural here on the tanks. And Dark, it looks like he, barely should have enough. It's going to be close. Yeah, it's getting very close here. Infestors are falling. The tanks, they barely survive on 1 HP. Dark with his reinforcements trickling in. It looks like he does have enough. Takes down one of the tanks. There's 1 tank left. GuMiho is still rallying in. Takes down the expansion. Uh-oh. Yeah, Dark. Running out of money, running out of bases. He still has those swarm hosts, true. Swarm hosts, they're coming in. From what, like 15 minutes ago? They're still popping off. They catch a tank. They get 1, they get 2. Every tank counts. Jesus, it's 11 tanks left. GuMiho back on a 1 base economy. More than I can say for Dark. Dark on, again, half a base. Ooh, GuMiho overextends. Has to get out of here. Has to pull away. A risky maneuver here. Dropping tanks. Using whatever he can. Local save is ready. GuMiho, he has to respect it. And the local save close enough to the mineral, and he can go for the SCVs. Denies mining at the same time. Oh, base is going to go down. But players hurting so much. House down a Ravager. Nice moves here by GuMiho. Dark still barely maintaining himself. Barely. GuMiho double expanding, going for the center base and a fresh base on the right-hand side. Dark, he hasn't scattered. He doesn't know. GuMiho committing in. Local save from behind. Dark, he's getting ready here for the surround. And the local save is ready. He's ready. The tanks. I don't know if he can escape. Tanks are trying to make their way out. They're getting caught. Yeah, tanks are getting caught. Tanks are going to be falling. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, this was not it. GuMiho, this is his final army. The tanks are all going down. And Dark, he catches him. He gets him. He takes on every single tank. We see GuMiho getting desperate, moving out. He has 4 tanks left. He lost everything. Again, the MVP swarm host every time. I was curious about something. If I look at the Unisoul tab here, how many swarm hosts have died? 0. These are the same 13 swarm hosts from 20 minutes ago. It's crazy. Now that I mentioned that none of them died, like they're gonna go down now, I'm sure, but the efficiency. Base is denied. Dark, he does get eyes on top right, or center right. Is aware. Likewise going for another planetary, another base falls. GuMiho is still barely maintaining himself with that base on the right. He's muling his heart out. Also, shout out to these 2 tanks, or these 3 tanks I should say. The 2 medevacs. GuMiho, with these 3 tanks, he killed what, a base, killed a mineral line, took down another base. Been so annoying with these tanks, with these drops. Again, it's coming down to the wire. Hey, he's got a mining base. He has income. Rebuilding his tanks. He's building back up. The mule hammer is real. That's a lot of mules. Oh my god. A lot of mules are coming in. Tanks getting caught unsieged. Oh. Files they do not connect. I'll pick up. But tanks are still going down. Erosions, they push on forward. Running out of Ravagers. Getting into the mineral line. Going for the tanks as well. Oh, gets 1. Takes down 1. There's 3 tanks left. Takes down all the mules. Darky pulls out. Barely pulls out. I believe, yeah, GuMiho, he did rotate over. All the tanks that he once had in position, they're not here. Mining is denied. GuMiho with 0 economy. This is his income. These workers here. He does save them at least. Does save them. Does pull them over, but GG gets called. He has nothing left. GuMiho, he runs out of steam, and Dark, he takes game number 1. Whew, GG. That was game 1, by the way. GG, well played. Dark, he does take the game again. A very intense back and forth. I just love the tech switches from both players. GuMiho, I would say, did stay on Battle Mech for a little bit too long, but he did commit to it, eventually switching out of it into a more tank-heavy composition, then into BCs, then back into tanks, and likewise, he also wasn't really turtling. For a time, there was a small period where he was the defender. That was when the Swarm Host arrived, if you recall, where GuMiho was stuck at home and he was losing bases to the Swarm Host. But after a while, he was so active with his army, with his tank-based composition, pushing through the center, rotating to the right, to the left. Dark had a very hard time maintaining bases, but what was most important, even though Dark was losing hatchery after hatchery after hatchery, he was also counterattacking with his Swarm Host, with his Ling Rumbais, with his Roach counterattacks as well, and also crippling the economy. So as Dark was losing bases, so was GuMiho. And it got real scrappy. Towards the end, it all just came down to efficiency, right? It all came down to how efficient these players were being with their armies and what they could pull off. GG. GG, well played with that. Dark does take a lead in the series, and now we're jumping to game number 2. For those that are curious, this is a best of 5 semifinals match. Again, this is only the semis. For those that weren't here yesterday, this is day 2 of this 2-day event. Last night, we were live here with the quarterfinals, featuring Dark, GuMiho, Ryung, Zhang, and many others. Here we are live with the semis and the grand finals thereafter. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Frostline, we have the South Korean Terran player, the red Terran. It is GuMiho. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the blue Zerg leading the series 1-0. It is Dark. We go. Just catching up with the chat. GuMiho, pecoeta. Good to see you, Papi. Good to see you. Good to see you. Shama in the chat as well. Shama. Dark is amazing. He trades evenly with Mech. I would say he maybe out-traded. It's hard to say. Like, it was just very intense, very close, very intense, very back and forth. It was crazy. Very crazy. There were a lot of highlight moments as well, like the moment where Dark caught all the BCs with his Biles, with his Infestors. Likewise, GuMiho with his drop play, right, with his 4-tank hit squad, sniping bases, and juggling against Roach Ravager. The Swarm Host surround that we saw out of Dark. Likewise, GuMiho's Hellion Rumbais and rotations. It was solid. It was StarCraft. It was crazy. Both players had their moments. From here, GuMiho single gas open, or standard open, just racked expand. Likewise, Dark going hatch gas pool. So far, so good. Dark used also against his Ultra. He did have an Ultra Cavern, if you remember. There was a time when Dark, he was going for his Corruptor switch when he saw the BCs, where it looked like he wanted to go into Ultras, but he didn't have the tech ready at the time. His Ultra Cavern was a little bit late, and he never had the opportunity to actually get back into Ultras at that point. But he did have the Ultra Cavern. Did have it. But now they're just calming things down. Whew, and we can embrace, so far, a much more standard setup. For those that weren't here at the start of Game 1, GuMiho did kick things off with a Proxy 2-Axe Reaper, which was crazy, by the way. If you recall, it was designed to hard counter Dark going for a gasless opener, but Dark did open up Standard instead, and likewise Standard build here by Dark as well, which is to be expected on Frostline. When it comes to these gasless builds, you expect them on maps like King's Cove, on Abyssal Reef, on Neo-Violet Square as well, on El Dorado. There are certain maps that do lean towards, or that do favor that style, as you can be much more defensive early on. Here on Frostline, that is not the case. Frostline is much more open. It is a large map, that is true, but here the 3rd base and the 4th base locations are so wide open here. There are very large ramps. There's also an entry point here in between the bases as well. It can be very difficult to defend against Hellion rotations if you do open gasless. So Dark, standard play, makes sense here on Frostline. Does make sense. Getting into link speed, likewise we see GuMiho back at home going 3cc Banshee, economic builds out of GuMiho. Is playing economically. There's Yadon swap into Banshee play. And as opposed to the previous game, everything is so far looking as it should. Again, last game was Proxy 2-Rax Reaper into Battle Mech. Here, this can still lead into Mech. I don't know if I'm too fond of it here. As I mentioned, talking about how exposed some of these bases are, it is more difficult to turtle. So it is more difficult to play a more traditional form of Mech on Frostline. But Battle Mech is a different story, and we did see a lot of Battle Mech on King's Cove. So it is going to be an option here to GuMiho. For now, being active, rotating around. Now it's going to be deflected. Does not find a way in. Behind this is going to be a lair first opener out of Dark. We did see this last game as well, going lair first into Ling Bane. And we'll keep an eye on that gas count. For now, Dark, he is getting up to 3 gases. If he gets another gas geyser, then we can start talking about muta play. But on 3 gases, it should just be Bailey Nest into double Evo Chamber into double upgrades. Meanwhile, GuMiho went into mech in game 1. Here in game 2. Who is it? Oh, no! It's one of the admins. No! Yo, whenever there's a freeze like that, everyone, whether it's myself, whether it's the Korean caster, the players, we all hold our breaths. Who's like, who is it? But that is one of the admins for the tournament. So it feels bad, man. Hopefully everything's okay, and hopefully that doesn't disturb the game too much. Otherwise, I might have to leave the game. Thankfully, nothing major was happening at the time, but what we were about to say here is bio. We have bio play out of GuMiho going into Stim, throwing down extra Raxes, getting up to a 5-rack setup. Again, GuMiho is not a one-trick pony. He's not one that only plays mech. He can play both. That's what makes him terrifying, is that, sure, he can play mech, but he doesn't have to. He can always mix it in when need be. By diving on the queens, takes down the active tumors. Nice big ups here. Take that 1, 2, all 3, 4 active tumors, does pull away, and also I glossed over it. I assumed it was add-on swap into Banshee. It's add-on swap into Raven. So Hellion Raven out of GuMiho, a much rarer opener out of our Terran player so far, has been pretty useful, pretty valuable. Clearing up creep, saving mules, and of course switching gears into bio. Meanwhile, Dark, it looks like he has recognized that it's going to be bio, checking his vision here. Yeah, he does see all the Marines, so he's going into 1-1 upgrades into Ling Bane. If you recall, last game we would have seen a Roach Horn and +1 range by now. So we have Bio versus Ling Bane. Fast Infestation Pit here out of Dark. That's going to be a 620 Infestation Pit. If I'm not mistaken, Dark, he's very fond of going Ling Bane into Ultra, if he can get away with it. So we'll see if this leads into a Hive into Ultra Tech. That would make the most sense. Keep an eye on Dark. Meanwhile, GuMiho building up back at home. Throwing down 3 more Raxes. I believe this is an 8-rack setup. Checking the production here. Yes, he's getting up to 8 Raxes on 3 bases. He's not taking his gases. This might be the beginning here of a 3-base all-in. Especially if these Raxes don't get add-ons. So right now we're looking for a couple of things. We're looking for gases at the 3rd base. We're looking for add-ons here on these Raxes. And we're looking for a 2nd factory. If we don't see any of that, then again, we're just going to commit here on 3 bases with pure Marine tank. At this point, yeah, it's an 8-rack 3-base all-in. So this is a build that's seen a lot more frequently on some of these smaller maps. As you can see, we're going to be making up to, I believe, 12 Marines at a time. On larger maps like Frostline, this is a little bit risky here, just because the rush distance by ground is longer. And as you can see, no add-ons. So no add-ons, just pure 12 Marine production, no gases, no factory, no nothing, just pure Marine tank. Bailey's rolling in, nice missile goes up on the Lings. But the tanks are called out. Massive catch here, and before the all-in can really get going, the tanks go down. The Bio Army does trade. GuMiho is still pushing in. Dark back at home. He has to mass up. Now, is Dark being too greedy? He's taking in towards Ultras. Right now, it's not the time to tech, though. We need nothing but Army. We need nothing but Ling Bane. So far, it was a strong start for Dark, catching out those tanks. GuMiho stims in. Up. So far, decent target firing, but alas, still being overwhelmed. Yeah, the Bio Army is going down. Ooh, rallies into the army. GuMiho still pushing. And again, it's all or nothing for GuMiho. He has to break through. The longer this goes on, the better it is for Dark. Remember, Dark, he is taking up into Ultras, or sorry, I should say into Hive. I'm getting ahead of myself. Into Hive Tech, goes for a massive counterattack. You see a full wall surrounding the base. It'll buy time. True. GuMiho moves in. Oh! Nice kiting. Oh, does take some Banelings to the face. Meanwhile, the wall has broken and Lings, they flood in. Yeah, Banelings to get here just in time. Oh! Yeah, they will connect. On the one hand, Darky does get a base. Oh, does get the mineral line as well. Yeah, drone's going to be going down. Darky also cripples the economy of GuMiho. GuMiho still moving in. Banelings, they're not quite done yet. Going for the Baneling Nest. Baneling Nest is going to get picked off. Clutch Raid's used. Oh my god. Saving it. He's trying to. Saves the Baneling Nest. Shuts down the bio. And GuMiho is running out of steam here. No mining at the third. Dropping into the main. Darky has a backup fourth base. Doesn't have the drones though. Doesn't have the economy. Takes down a full medevac. Massive snipe. Yeah, and Darky's all of this. GG gets called. The all-in fails, and Darky will hold. He will survive. He will take game number 2. Whew, GG. Darky will take the second game. Again, GuMiho, as we did mention, didn't take any gases, didn't throw down a factory, he didn't get any add-ons. It was just an 8-racks, 3-base all-in, but it was so important that Darky engaged first. If you remember, the all-in started with GuMiho getting caught in the center of the map and losing his first 2 tanks. Like, that was a brutal start. Momentum is a big factor when it comes to these all-ins, so for GuMiho to lose that much momentum that early on, that was brutal. And because of that, GuMiho took him so long to actually push into the bases and bring down the expansion. Did get a hatchery eventually, but by the time he did, he was also losing SCVs across the map, losing reinforcements, and just running out of steam, bleeding out too much. GG. GG, well played. Darky will take a 2-0 lead here, and we have game 3 up ahead of us here. We're on match point. Dark needs one more win to claim the series. Meanwhile, GuMiho needs to fight back here and now to extend the series. And I'm hoping for a game 4. I'm hoping for a game 5. I mean, so far, both games have been very entertaining, especially game 1. Like, game 1, we peaked early, Pappy. We peaked early with game 1, and even here in game 2, it was very intense as well, and I'm hoping to sink my teeth into some more GuMiho versus Dark, but the pressure is on GuMiho. Pressure is on. Checking our vetoes. Ooh, I did end up losing the vetoes, but we are getting ready here for game number 3. Game 3 is going to be on Abyssal Reef. Oh, okay, Abyssal Reef, one of the larger maps in the map pool. Now, something important to take note of here. So far, we've actually embraced all 3 large maps. We've gone into King's Cove, gone into Frostline, and gone into now Abyssal Reef as well. Abyssal Reef is similar to King's Cove, where it's a very large map and also very defensive, very secure. There's a lot of controversy, of course, about the older maps that were brought into the map pool. I'm referring to King's Cove, Abyssal Reef, and Neon Violet Square, as opposed to Frostline, which is a map that is more open, which we did mention. Which we did speak on, talking about Frostline and how exposed the bases are, which I'm sure... which I'm sure factored into GuMiho's decision to go for a 3-base all-in, but here on Abyssal Reef, it's a large map, and it's also a very defendable map. What I'm getting at, if GuMiho did want to slow the game down, if he wanted to embrace mech, this would be the map for it. Oh boy. This would be the map for it. So we'll see how our players open up. Meanwhile, we spoke about Dark trying to go for a gasless opener and how he didn't go for it on King's Cove. Abyssal Reef, he could cut corners, can rush into an earlier third base, can skip his gases. There is a lot that can come into play. Sorry, we're just remaking the party. If you remember, because one of the admins almost lagged out in the middle of the last game, it did mess up the party and it bugged the party a little bit. So we are trying to resolve that issue. Ooh, meanwhile, just catching up with the chat. Let's go. Yo, thank you so much. Oh, meanwhile, sorry, it happened during the end of the game. But a big shout out in the chat. Thank you so much to Therius. Thank you, Pappy. Thank you. Thank you for the Twitch Prime for the first time. Thank you for the support. We do appreciate it. Hope you enjoy the casting. Hope you enjoy the content. Hope you enjoy the StarCraft. Again, we are live on a daily basis here on the CranKy Ducklings. We're live twice a day, every single day. We were actually live earlier this morning covering the Kung Fu Cup Warcraft 3 Evolution Edition. Now we're here tonight with the Chicken King Cup number 7. So we're live again twice a day, every single day. We're actually going to be live once again in around 7 hours time with the HSL, with Hispanic Star League. That is going to be at 2 a.m. my time, at 1 a.m. KST. Again, that's in around 7 hours. But here we go. You can hear the beeps. We are loading into our next game. Let's go. You freeze every time someone freezes. Unironically true, I stun. Unironically. Ay. Ah, no. But yeah, thank you so much for the support. Thank you. Do appreciate it. Hope you enjoy the emotes in the chat, and we also provide replay packs to our subscribers on Discord if you want to join our Discord server. But here we go. We're jumping into game 3, potentially the final game of the series, as spawning in the top left-hand corner of Abyssal Reef, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Blue Terran, down in the series 0-2. He has to fight back here and now to force an extended series and potentially force the ace match. It is GuMiho. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Red Zerg, leading the series 2-0. One game away from advancing on to the grand finals. It is Dark. Oh. Going for a pull first. Let's go. So pull first opener out of Dark. Meanwhile, GuMiho going for what looks to be 2x Reaper on the low ground. So both players are mixing up their builds and changing their openers. Now, if you recall, I did speak on a gasless opener, and I spoke on how Dark is very fond of playing gasless on certain maps, on maps like Abyssal Reef and King's Cove. And what happened on King's Cove? Well, GuMiho proxy 2x. Here on Abyssal Reef, 2x Reaper. Both aggressive builds, and both builds that are designed to punish gasless openers. Now, Dark did open standard on King's Cove, and Dark was able to punish and shut down GuMiho and make a game out of it. Here on Abyssal Reef, we have a pull first, which means early queen production, which means, once again, Dark should be okay, but it does look like from here he can skip his gases and go for a faster expansion. So this might be a little bit better for GuMiho. He has potential to get damage done. Yeah, gases. So gases opener out of Dark. Again, this is what GuMiho wanted out of Dark in the previous game, in game 1 of the series. And GuMiho, he has potential to get a lot of damage done here. Now, the reason why GuMiho has more potential than normal is because there's no link speed. There's no link speed here, and typically the way to shut down 2x Reaper is to buy time for link speed to kick in, and then your speedlings will shut this down. But here, there is no link speed. Reapers, they push, but Dark did open pool first, and Dark, he can buy time. So Lings, they do bypass the army, they head towards the natural. Dark, he's aware of what's going on, and ideally Dark wants to keep these Reapers busy to build up his queens. So the Reapers, they are forced to kite back. Oh, almost surrounded. CC is delayed, and GuMiho is racing back home. Yeah, he turns everything back around, he's racing back home, and Dark is just buying time. He's just buying time, delaying the aggression, delaying the push. Reaper taking a lot of hits, Lings are in the mineral lines. And again, this isn't really getting too much damage done. It's not meant to get damage done. It is delaying the Reapers. And this is giving Dark more time to make queens, to build up his queen count, to have a defense. As now he's up to 2 queens. We have a 3rd queen on the way. Lings are building up. Remember, still no gas, so no link speed. But Dark, he is being given a lot of time here to respond. So GuMiho moves in. I mean, this is still going to be a shaky defense here for Dark, as he is stuck defending. First they poke in, looking for way into the main. Ling's in position. Oh my god. They do get one. Not quite. They threaten the Reapers. One drone goes down. And Dark defends. Whew, Dark, he does defend. Did sustain some losses, that is true. Did lose 6 Lings. Forced to morph in some gas geysers, but Dark, he does hold. And GuMiho turning this initial 2x Reaper into 2-1-1. Sorry, did I say 2-1-1? A 3-1-1. Oh. Much more aggressive, actually. The Overlord does not confirm this. Overlord is going to be zoned away, but GuMiho, he's being hyper aggressive. He can even turn this into a Hellbat push. First things first, you see what I see? Fast +1. Fast +1 attack here on the way for GuMiho. Likewise, third racks on the way. What we should have seen here is a third CC, a third command center to build up into a greater economy into the mid game. Instead of a third CC, third racks. Factory into starport +1. This looks like a 2-base all-in. Looks like a 2-base all-in here from GuMiho. Reapers, they get across the map. They get 2 drone kills so far. Oh, they get surrounded. Nice catch here from Dark. The dust round does clean this up. But Dark is still in the dark, still 0 gases, no lair, no roaches, no ling speed, no bailing speed, purely droning and queens. Dark is being so greedy here, delaying his gases. Now he's taking his gases, but I'm concerned about this stim timing. As GuMiho is getting ready. Now this does feel a little bit premature. GuMiho is moving out with stim. +1 is halfway done. There we go, Roach Horn on the way here for Dark. Dark, he does spot the initial bio push. He doesn't know how committed it is. No armory, so no Hellbats. I mean, no Hellions either, to be fair. As GuMiho, he will catch one of the Overlords. Nicely done. Overlord goes down. Supply block's Dark. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, massive supply block. 5 Overlords on the way. Now it was just a shaky start here for Dark. And Darky is in trouble. GuMiho is holding onto that stim. That's a lot of queens. Jesus. That's 8 queens for Dark. I mean, this is the backbone of his army right now. Just mass queen. GuMiho is reinforcing. Again, just rallying everything across the map. Remember, there is no third CC with this. Just 2 bases, stim, combat shields, +1 is about to finish up in a couple of seconds, just in time for the medevacs. Yes, now it's time to stim. Stims in. Oh, flush rate 2s. Keeps the queen alive. 1 queen goes down. He gets 1. Just 1 for the time being. Takes down the roaches. 2nd queen goes down. He gets 2. He's going to get 3, but he's running out of marines. Barely running out of steam. Nice concave here from Dark. Darky's holding on, and the longer this goes on, the better it is for Dark. Darky's on 61 drones. He's on just under 3 base saturation, and GuMiho is 2 base all in. But GuMiho is on a timer. And again, the start was, I mean, the start of the game here was solid for GuMiho, but it is slipping away. Tank Del Siege. Denying mining in the mineral line. And this is a very abusable position. But GuMiho, he needs more damage. He needs to get more done. Trades with the roaches. These are trades that Dark can afford. Nice target firing though. Delays the expansion. Takes down the drone. Not bad. Now we have a third CC on the way that's on location for GuMiho. Again, this is a very late expansion. Very late. So GuMiho, he still needs more damage. He's still down over 20 workers. Sims in, gets a queen, gets 1, gets 2, gets 3. Oh my god. Does catch 3 queens. Very nice. Dark getting caught with his pants down. Dark, he's down to 2 queens. He can't even inject all of his bases. GuMiho getting damage done. Liberation has arrived. He sets up here on the low ground. And again, GuMiho just trading with the army, picking off whatever he can. Is slowly expanding. Dark does confirm. Like, this is still not ideal for GuMiho, but he's had some nice moments here. Getting the queens, picking up a couple of workers, laying the expansion. Oh, Piles will take down the lib. Nice pick up. The Liberator does go down. GuMiho trying to stim in, but that's a lot of roaches. And there's not enough marines. Yeah, marine cann's being thinned out, and Dark, he breaks out. He breaks out, he shuts down the tanks, and GuMiho's gonna lose everything here. It was risky being active like this, but he will lose the army, and GuMiho has nothing left. And again, like back at home, he's just now trying to saturate. And Dark, he's done it. He's done it. He's broken the contain. The 2 base all in from GuMiho failed. And Dark is snowballing out of control. GuMiho harassing across the map. The CC has to lift. Dark pushing in. Decent around the boards are being pulled. This is maybe the best fight that GuMiho can hope for, but alas, there's just so many roaches. Darky's overwhelming. Takes down the Bio Army, takes down the SCVs. 12 SCVs going to be going down. And again, GuMiho, he has nothing left here. He had no longevity in this game. He needed more time, and again, he was building himself up towards it, but GG gets called. Darky will punish, and Dark will take the series at 3-0. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Dark, he will claim the series, will advance on. Again, GuMiho, he had a very strong series, I would say. I don't think the scoreline accurately reflects how intense game 1 and even game 2 were, but GuMiho, he was just so aggressive here. And again, he did attempt quite hard to punish the build of Dark. I love that Dark did go pool first, by the way. He was able to buy time, as we mentioned. Dark, if he had gone for a standard gasless opener, he would have been vulnerable, but going pool first meant that Dark actually forced GuMiho back home, bought some time. I don't blame GuMiho going for the 2-base all-in, but the size of the map was also hurting him. The defensive features as well. The fact that there's a ramp coming into the natural makes it difficult to push up into the natural as well. We saw that's when Dark pulled off the queen defense with like the massive concave on top of the ramp. Again, like these are features that make it difficult to all in, and GuMiho, he had to fight Dark and also fight the map as well. He had to fight the map there, and alas, it was an uphill battle for GuMiho. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations, Dark, he will claim the series, and Dark, he's our first player to make it to the grand finals. Question becomes, who's up next? Who is up next? Let's go. Here we go, as we are getting ready here for our next semifinals. We're getting ready for our PvP.